Alright, let's finish this up with part 3 of Persona 3, The Answer. Where we last left off, the Sea's crew, led by Aigis and accompanied by Metis, went through all the doors in the Abyss of Time. Each door having another door that leads to a flashback showing the moments the group, individually, awakened to their persona. But Aigis' door just showed her haunting dream where she can't catch up to Makoto. After that, a shadow Makoto appears that is formed from the combined regrets of all of the Sea's members. They beat him up. Let's continue. By the way, I would like to inject a small rant here about how this doesn't make too much sense. I mean, they go through the Abyss of Time and see all the reasons why they decided to fight and be superheroes or whatever. But what does that have to do with their combined regrets and bringing Makoto back? Like, I don't get that at all. Maybe this last one will answer. Metis comes to a conclusion and tells everyone what's up.
Its powers and form were familiar, but it was a shadow.
You are correct.
Wait, but that makes no sense. Persona users are supposed to beat shadows, right?
What are you talking about? Don't tell me you've been fighting them this whole time without knowing. Personas and shadows are the same thing. That's why you're able to fight them in the first place. Did you all think that shadows were mysterious invaders or something? Shadows are the lower parts of the psyche everyone has. Suppressed human thoughts given physical form. When people are unable to face their darker selves, they break loose, free from all control. But sometimes, humans with special awareness can tame their shadows. Those are persona users. The shadow's power affects time and even space. Through your personas, your unspoken desires were manifested. You can't stand to see time move on. You don't want to accept your loss of someone precious. It was by each of your wishes that time stopped moving forward. And as a result, you became trapped here.
Actually, it was just Yukari and Aigis, but okay. With that done, everyone gets a key to leave the Abyss. There is a choice to be made.
You should be able to leave using those keys. Once you make it outside, the Abyss of Time should disappear on its own.
But these keys, there's 8 of them.
That's because each of you played a part in bringing this about. The door probably won't open unless all 8 are used at once.
Strength of heart when united is barred by no door. Those words.
So are we just gonna waltz out through the front door?
That door, or another one. There's still one closed door that doesn't connect to the outside world. The main entrance, or that door. It's one or the other.
Let me go ahead and speed this up. Okay, there's 2 doors. There's the one that leads outside, and there's one that leads to Makoto's room. If they go through the main entrance, then it'll return to the present. Everything will be back to normal. However, when they go through Makoto's room, it'll take them back to the past. Since Aigis is the leader, everybody looks to her to make a choice. But Aigis doesn't really want to make a choice because Makoto died when he made his choice, and I don't think she wants to die, so she's really conflicted. She was really hoping that somebody else would come up with the answer for her, but then that would just forego her being the protagonist. She's very reluctant.
Hey, why don't we go back to the dorm first? This is way too heavy to decide right here.
They go back to the dorm to make a final decision and find out that there are cracks that might keep them there forever if they don't handle this right away. It's pointless storytelling, and it doesn't raise the stakes at all, as the crew still sits down to have a spirited moral discussion. The new dorm look is nice though.
So, what's the plan? I mean, no one's seriously thinking about going back to the past, right?
I've been thinking. Why do you think he died? Personally, I still think it's because he used all his power to accomplish that miracle. In other words, we were saved because he gave up his life. He gave everything for us. So it doesn't seem right to undo all his work on our own.
I'm with Ken. We've all seen what kind of resolve it takes to face death. That resolve, and what it brought about. There's no way we can cancel that out on our own whims. Even if it hurts, we have to deal with it and accept the present.
Now, of course, Yukari goes back on what she's been saying all along because she is full of crap and only cares about herself.
I want to go back to the time before the last battle. When I thought about how he protected us, I kept telling myself that I have to keep looking forward. That's why I started going to cram school and spending less time goofing off. But I can't lie to myself. If there's a way for him to come back, I'll take it, no matter what. Yukari.
Mitsuru sees her selfishness every time, but doesn't think that calling her out on it would make things any better. So she just says her name and then trails off.
If we don't keep our eyes forward, it was all a waste of time. Yukari. I'm tired of dealing with shadows. We should hurry and finish this. Yukari, aren't you pushing yourself a little too hard? I'm anxious to get my own sign that I'm actually moving forward. I made a promise with him too. Yukari.
Akihiko does a good job, though.
So, you're giving up? Are you saying you don't have the strength to face reality? After all the things we've gone through, you're just gonna throw in the towel in the fight against yourself?
Oh yeah, you're really one to be throwing around all those high-minded ideals. If you really thought something was that precious to you, you'd want to protect it no matter what. Don't you understand? We can go back and fix things. Are you seriously just gonna let a chance like this go?
Then I'll ask you this. If I said I wanted to undo your father's death, would you do it? Even if there was a way to reverse Shinji and Miki's death, I'd flat out refuse. Nothing in the past was a waste. You're just making excuses.
Anyway, what do the rest of you think?
I mean, have you really thought this through? Going back to before that battle means we have to fight Nyx again. Did you ever think about what might happen if we lose this time?
It's the same thing. Either way, all it means is that you're just scared. And you two are no better. All that talk about accepting the present is because when you get down to it, you only care about yourselves.
What?
Akihiko took the word right out of my mouth. So Yukari calls everyone out for being selfish because they don't want to go back in time to risk failing at saving everyone on the planet. But before they can slap her in the face with the Spider-Man meme, she says there is only one way to resolve this: a fight. Which I don't get, because at this point it seems that no one is on Yukari's side. By the way, you guys in the comments, this is your girl right here. She would rather sacrifice having already saved the world to bring back the person who selflessly sacrificed himself to save everyone, ignoring that the other people in the crew have lost loved ones as well in this struggle. She's like, fuck 'em. I just want my boyfriend back. This is your girl? I'm just saying. I said it in the beginning that she is a pain in the ass. Some people out there are standing for her. She's a jerk. So Metis flips out because apparently everyone's keys represent their strength of heart, and you can merge them together. They are gonna fight over them, and maybe taking Aigis' strength of heart will kill her like it killed Makoto. Even though his death wasn't about a key, and everyone's life is at stake at this moment because cracks in the floor apparently. It's dumb. Aigis has a problem making a decision on what door she's going to open, and Yukari takes her opportunity to shift the blame.
I can't decide right now which is more important, the past or the present.
So you're just gonna run away? Again? Just like the day we said our farewells to him, and you were the only one who didn't show up. You got to hear his last words. You even made him a promise. But here you are, still running. Why were you the one who inherited his power when you can't even make up your mind? I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna lose to someone like you.
We all know Yukari is the weakest member on the team. Ken and Konomaru, the dog, probably have a higher attack power. Mitsuru joins Yukari for girl power, I guess.
You're taking her side? Are you serious?
Metis is all about it, so she sets up the battles. Since Aigis is the only one that might die if her key is taken, allegedly, she has to fight all the teams. Metis said she awakened at this spot. That may be interesting for later. Akihiko and Ken are the first ones. Akihiko lets Fuka help the girls because Aigis' life is at stake. The fight is tough because both Akihiko and Ken's personas are electric based, but the Robo Girls win.
Akihiko-san! Hamada-san! What's happening?
I told you before, if they lose, there will be consequences. They haven't died, but they won't return to their original forms until the true key is forged. You can no longer avoid fighting.
No. You knew this would happen. Is that why you brought us here? What were you thinking?
It's because this must be my purpose here. If the fires burn out, they won't be able to return to normal even if the key is forged. We need to hurry, sister.
Don't call me sister anymore.
It was pretty weird that Metis was so excited to get everyone fighting. It's like she knew that it would happen. Steel cage match! Yes! I have just the place. Alright, next is Junpei and Konomaru. Junpei makes a lot of sense.
Even if we go back to before the final battle, we're still squabbling like this. I don't know, do you really see us being able to pull off a miracle and do things better than he could? Me, I think this is something we gotta take care of on our own. I'm not as much of a hard ass as Akihiko-san, but I don't think we should mess with the past. Still, some things you just can't work out by talking about them. If neither side will give an inch, well, sometimes that's how things are gonna be. Right, little sis?
By the way, if you lose, they have a little ending scene where Junpei get ready for the battle with Mitsuru and Yukari. Also, I don't think that the game understands how these fights should go. Some of these teams should be eliminated by the other teams. Aigis shouldn't have to fight all three of them. It's like Aigis and Metis can have Fuka because Aigis' life is on the line. But that advantage is busted since they gotta fight everyone. So Junpei and Konomaru get beat up and end up in the same place Akihiko and Ken ended up. Aigis knows what happened to Makoto, and she has Makoto's powers, so she needs to figure out her place in all of this and make a choice. Is she fighting because she doesn't want to die? Is she afraid of failure in the past? Or scared to proceed in the future knowing it will be without Makoto, the one it was her job to protect? Fortunately, naive Metis is there to express her feelings. Way more emotions than Aigis, by the way.
No! You can't do that or you'll...
We don't know for sure whether or not that will happen. And I won't accept your input on this. It's my decision.
Wait! Don't go! I had a premonition.
This scene is emotional, which I think is pretty powerful for the story, but I'm getting a copyright problem here, so I have to tell you what happens in the scene. Metis expresses how lonely she feels because she just woke up in the middle of this area and didn't know anything but that she had a sister that she wanted to protect. She finds Aigis, and that's what keeps her bonded to Aigis. However, she's starting to understand that Aigis gained power, and at some point she's probably gonna die. Metis doesn't want to be alone so much that she's willing to sacrifice her life if she can to take Aigis' place so that Aigis can live alone and Metis doesn't have to be alone. She'll just be erased. But Aigis can't just turn her back on her friends, so they're at a standstill here. It's very frustrating for Metis as she breaks down and starts crying.
Fuka-san, there's something I want you to hear. Huh?
So they head in there for the second
You too,
fight.
Metis.
Aigis tells Mitsuru how she came about her choice.
Yes, I've made my decision. I know what I want to do. If something's precious, you don't want to lose it. If someone's dear, it's painful to part with them. Loss can hurt, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I too have something important. That's why I'm willing to fight you two now.
Yukari, as usual, acts like she's being a bitch so someone else can learn something.
You sound like you're back to your usual self again. You know, I have to say, you've been a little out of it lately. It was kinda disappointing, because you were acting all mechanical, like when you first got to the dorm. But now, I'd say you've got more life in you than ever. All the same, I can't give in either. I'm not gonna lose this battle, no matter what.
So Yukari and Mitsuru lose, and Fuka is like,
Take mine too, I guess. I agree with you the most, so... Everyone!
well, false alarm. Everyone is okay. Yukari is still being a bitch, though.
That was a nice speech back there, but you still haven't made a real decision, huh? Then give it to me! Give me that key! I want to see him. I don't care about anything else. I just want to see him again.
But Mitsuru comes in to explain why Yukari is a dummy.
Yukari, there's no way to truly put the past behind you. In the end, you only succeed in running from it. It's painful to face, but if you don't, your wounds will never heal.
So if I keep facing it, someday everything will be okay? Eventually I'll forget all about him, or stop caring? Like that's ever gonna happen.
You're right. But can't we be there for you when things are at their worst? The way you were there for me last year.
But Yukari is pretty damn dumb. I'm sure that she has learned nothing. She made a promise she would change the world, and she blew it off because she loves a dude. And Fuka reveals that there is a third door to try. The first door to Polonia Mall. It never disappeared, and everyone agrees that's the door they should try. What a waste of time. They head to that door, and holy crap, that door looks ominous as hell. So the crew leaves and preps for a big battle. So they go into the door, and let me warn you, it's time to get ready to just let the story ride out. This is the time where JRPGs try to close things up in the most confusing way possible so they can make people believe that the ending was super deep. So here we go. After Makoto finished off Nyx, everybody ended up in this little spacey area to have a discussion. Everybody in this story is a little bit confused because they don't know when the ending's supposed to happen. But Ryoji, the messenger for Nyx, comes up there and then tells everybody that it's okay, that Nyx and the being behind Nyx is gonna fall asleep, so it's not a big deal and everybody's okay. Surprisingly enough, Ryoji addresses Aigis specifically, so I guess that's what started this whole thing.
He's found the answer to life's greatest question. It just happened a bit sooner than it will for the rest of you.
Life's greatest question.
Aigis, you'll find the answer one day as well. You too are a precious living thing. You just need to realize how the bonds of friendship have changed you.
I hadn't really noticed at the end of this game because I was really too tired and I wanted to see the end. But, you know, Persona. So anyway, back to the present. Well, the present characters back in the past. Everything has come back full circle.
I said before, if it's a past that everyone experienced, then you can actually interact with it. The same as that shopping mall.
Wait, everyone? But you weren't here for this.
It's probably because
Nyx. And that must be...
So this is the miracle he performed. What is this?
this is his life essence. As you can see, this is what happened. He himself became the Great Seal. But relinquishing one's life essence means death for a human. He must have already found it. His own answer to life.
The answer to life.
I don't think he has any regrets. He managed to keep his promise to you all before his consciousness faded away.
His promise? You mean to meet up on graduation day?
Wait a sec. How do you know about that promise?
How? I just know. I'm probably just like Nyx and the seal this person became. Something that belongs on this side. Nyx's awakening means the destruction of everything. But think about it. If she's that powerful, how was she contained before he became the seal?
Well, someone else must have.
What about before humans ever existed?
What are you getting at?
As I understand it, Nyx is neither hostile nor malevolent. A seal really isn't necessary.
What? Are you saying he did all this for no reason?
Not at all. What he was really trying to accomplish was...
Whoa! What the?
Everyone, look!
A shadow. So many. All those peoples.
As I thought, the seal's real purpose. It wasn't to hold back Nyx. It was a seal so that it couldn't be touched.
What do you mean? That monster isn't a shadow. It's the accumulated malice that came from the hearts of countless living people. All of them, deep down, are calling Nyx.
That can't be.
Last December, I too wished to learn death. It's probably true that people in town are wishing to touch it somewhere in their hearts. There is only one thing that differentiates life from stillness. It's that we die. That's all there is.
I think I understand. When your life loses its meaning, the fact of death can be kind of comforting. That lurking malice we're unaware of is strong enough to give birth to such a huge monster. And maybe that's just how it is these days.
What's it doing? Why the hell is it after us?
It wants my sister! She has the same power as the one who created the seal! Don't tell me you're going to fight that thing! It's impossible! It's just too big!
This is a battle we can't run from. The feelings that gave birth to this abomination were inside me as well. Because I couldn't accept reality. I foolishly sought solace in a past filled with death and strife. There's no mistaking it. This monster is the reason for all our troubles.
You got that right. If we run away from this, we're off to a lousy start for our future.
That's what I think, too. This was already a battle against myself.
I won't let myself run this time. He's watching us, and I won't let him down.
Sucks to be you, big guy. 'Cause we ain't gonna lose. Let's do this!
Sister?
Don't worry. This thing can't stop us. To go on living is to not give in to your own weakness. Let's win this for a new beginning tomorrow.
Hold on a second. I'm a little confused as to what a shadow is. Let's roll this back.
Personas and shadows are the same thing. That's why you're able to fight them in the first place. Shadows are the lower parts of the psyche everyone has. Suppressed human thoughts given physical form. When people are unable to face their darker selves, they break loose, free from all control.
That monster isn't a shadow. It's the accumulated malice that came from the hearts of countless living people. All of them, deep down, are calling Nyx.
Okay. I'm sure there's a difference in there somewhere, but it's very minute. But whatever, I'm nitpicking. Regardless, they hype themselves up. It turns out, instead of fighting Nyx, they have to fight everyone's low-key anger. Makoto knew people's malice would get to Nyx again, so he put up a hatred block to keep Nyx from being summoned again. Well played, Makoto. It's like he knew the answer all along. You win by the power of friendship, but people suck. Eventually, they're gonna turn on everyone, and then Nyx is gonna come back, you know. That's human nature. So they fight the shadow monster that isn't a shadow. Normally here, I would say that's the plot summary, But damn, this ending is long as fuck, and this game likes to talk so much. So I'm going to narrate through bits of it. With that said, I think I'll save all that for next week and cut it off right there. I was planning on finishing it this time, but it's Persona. Like, endings are always long, especially with JRPGs. The endings are really long, so it kind of like puts a big hamper on my plot summary format, because I'm expecting the endings to be about, 4 or 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe. But no, this story is never done. Never done. It overstays its welcome. It's okay, but unfortunately, I have to do more plot summary videos, so I'm sorry. It's supposed to be like DLC or something, right? Whatever. Anyway, you guys saved me like Neo saved Agent Smith. See you next week. Peace.
Remember to like and subscribe.